A few months ago, I made a video on the death of the small sports car in the new car market, and some people pointed out that I've been a little bit too generous in terms of cars that I included that you could order from a dealer still, but were no longer being made in the factory. I'd included run-out stock for things like the Z4 and the Cayman. So in this video, I set myself the challenge of taking £50,000 and finding an affordable two-seater sports car that I can get hold of directly from the factory and built to my specification. Now, that challenge has proven to be substantially more difficult than I thought, and I think it might be time to acknowledge that if you want a practical two-seater sports car, there may only be one option left in the UK market. In this video, I'm going to go into the detail of just how hard it is to buy an affordable driver's car with a sensible budget. I'm David, this is Autobunker. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome to Autobunker headquarters. Let's get into the detail of this sports car problem. In the last video, I looked at the wider state of the market and how over 20 years, cars like my Cayman have virtually disappeared from the marketplace. There were a few run-out models available, the BMW Z4, the Boxster Cayman combination. You could get them from the dealership, but it was run out stock. The manufacturers just are not bringing these types of car into the marketplace anymore. So I decided in this video to look at the specifics of if somebody handed me £50,000, what would I go out and buy from a dealer to my specification, a car that had been built brand new in the factory. Is that even possible? The problem is so bad that even at that price point, it's hard to generate a list of driver-focused performance cars. So I've made a list of two-seater sports cars, which I'll go through, and I've also expanded it just a little to look at performance coupés, 2+2 cars that would squeeze in under that budget and entertain a keen driver. I've even included an EV wildcard, possibly against my better judgment. Let's get into the details. Here's our template for the list. Cars we can buy now, two-seater, under 50k. Let's go. We begin with the most obvious survivor, the Mazda MX-5, a petrol engine, rear-wheel drive, 2 seats, a choice of hard or soft top roof, and a starting price under £30,000. It's a hero of the sports car market and still continues. Well done, Mazda, for keeping us going with affordable sports car motoring. The MX-5 is basically perfectly matched to our brief, but there are a couple of other contenders that are well worth looking at if you've got the money to spend. We have to, of course, on this list include the Caterham Seven, Kent's finest two-seater pocket rocket. It is pretty extreme though. You're not going to be getting much in the way of usable luggage space, wireless phone charging, air conditioning, and arguably it would be a little bit painful to drive one every day, and it certainly hasn't been anywhere near a Euro NCAP crash test. So as a daily choice, it's arguably nowhere near the MX-5, but for pure hands-on adrenaline and driving fun, it's way up there. It would sit firmly in the second car category though. I think it's probably fair to say that a garage is also a must with a car like this from a security perspective and to keep it warm and dry and stop it dissolving away on your drive during the winter months. For a Sunday car, a track car, a toy sports car, it is absolutely perfect though. And I've driven a Caterham several times, notably on drift days, and wow, they are so much fun. I absolutely love them. And one day I will have a 7S car on the Autobunker fleet for sure. It's time for the wild card on this list, and I know some people are not going to be pleased with me for including it. It's the MG Cyberster, a two-seater electric sports car. It's got the long bonnet, the powered scissor doors, and certainly the straight line performance to match, but it weighs almost 2 tons, almost the antithesis of Colin Chapman's add lightness mantra. necessarily make it a bad sports car. It's certainly a different interpretation and a very quiet one to drive at that. I have with this car, and I sat in it at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, if you're over 6 foot and long in the torso, the roof bar comes up to my eyes and I cannot see through it. So you either have to be crouched right down or sitting and looking over the top, a bit like a clown car. So I don't think the Cyberster would work for me at all, unfortunately, due to my lofty height. Also on the list, and perhaps another curveball, but that is the state of the market at the moment. You have to go extreme if you want a two-seater car. I'm going to look at the Morgan Super 3. Petrol engine, rear wheel, single drive, absolutely superb styling. It really is a characterful British sports car. The price comes in just under £40,000 without any options, but you can spec this car and add loads of cool details, trims, and customize it entirely to your own style, including the blade racks, the luggage carriers, all that cool stuff. I love the fact that it exists, that it's British made, that it's quirky and cool, but it's even less practical than the Caterham. So it's on the list of our 4 two-seater cars that are available for under £50,000, and that is it. Unless you're looking at kit cars or have the budget to push up to nearly £80,000 for a Lotus Emira, there is nothing else on the market that is a new two-seater sports car. What a shame. The market, or the willingness of manufacturers to invest the time to engineer these cars, has just completely disappeared, and that makes me sad for 3 reasons. Number 1, the pool of sports cars that are going to be available to buy and enjoy second-hand in the future is going to start diminishing. The price of the cars that are left will go up as scarcity makes them less available. Number 2, I think we're denying a generation of young drivers and enthusiasts the chance to experience and enjoy these smaller, lightweight cars. And number 3, I'm not entirely sure what this says about modern society. We don't have time to drive these cars, we can't afford to drive these cars, or we're too terrified of taking a small light car out into the busy traffic of the modern world. Either way you look at it, it's not a good result for the petrolhead. The cars that are left on that list are definitely for drivers, so I wish them all the best, and I hope that people keep buying the Mazda, the Caterham and the Morgan in their droves to keep that going. There are some other options out there that will get you into a fun, small, compact performance car. BMW has the 2 Series Coupe, that's definitely a driver's car. An M2 is out of our budget, but a 240i or something like that, you could definitely get some quality wheels. The rival from Stuttgart is the CLE AMG from Mercedes. I'm sure that would be a fun car. 4-wheel drive, I think, though, not 2-wheel drive, so arguably a less pure sports car experience, but still a premium car that isn't massive and is driver focused. There are still a number of cool hot hatches out there, almost exclusively from the German brands, plus Mini, which is arguably a German brand these days. They are still catering for the nippy 4-5-seater hatchback, but that's not in our list. We're after a sports car. If you were to stretch the budget, Ford would sell you a Mustang 5-litre V8, which is a 2+2 coupe, but you need to be going up to £60,000 to get yourselves into one of those brand new. So my winner from the list of cars that I've put together, which I had to expand to include coupes as well, is going to be the Mazda MX-5. That answer may sound predictable, but I think it's the reasoning behind it that matters. It's rear-wheel drive, it's affordable, it comes with a limited slip diff. You can specify it as a cheap and cheerful sub 30,000 machine, or you can go up to 50,000 plus and load it up with driver toys and styling mods. I love the flexibility that Mazda are offering with this car. I have to commend Mazda for continuing to embrace the spirit and the ethos of the sports car and continuing to commit resources to make, sell and import it into the UK. Mazda, please, please, please make the NE or the 5th generation equally as cool. An MX-5 RS built to my specification with all the trick bits, the powerful engine, the limited slip diff and some cool styling enhancements as well. I definitely think that is going onto my Christmas list for 2027. So are we going to have to admit that the affordable sports car is officially dead? I think not quite, but it is definitely on life support. And that life support comes from Mazda and two tiny British manufacturers. There are still plenty of premium manufacturers that can give us two-seater sports cars with premium power, performance and price tag that goes with it. At the affordable end of the market, the choice really has evaporated. And for me, as a petrol head, that's really disappointing. Alfa, BMW, Porsche, Lotus, get on with it. We just want something small, nimble, light, no gadgets, get it out there, and I am sure people will buy it. If there's any car that you think should have been on the list, then let me know, drop it into the comments, and check out the video on just how many sports cars were actually available 20 years ago. I think you'll be surprised. My name's David, this is Autobunker. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video on the channel very soon. Here's the Autobunker website. There's columns on there to read and gifts for petrol heads, all sorts of stuff. And if you consider dropping the channel a subscribe as well, I'd really appreciate it.